In this episode, we will talk about the truth of Filipino women who have already dated expats previously. The truth is that these women are not typically the best women to date or try to have a relationship with. They might be the easiest because they've now had a taste of the good life. But the problem is they also now have a higher standard than the women in the province with no experience dating foreigners. Of course, there are exceptions, just like everything. However, this is the rule, especially if you are dating someone in their 20s, which means they now know that the men are thirsty and hungry after their youthful bodies. But now they've increased the price. They want more than just having a minimum earner foreigner, which is still 3 or 4 times the amount of a Filipino, but they want more and more. Topped with men in their inboxes of their social media, especially TikTok, telling them how gorgeous they are, they have an inflated image of themselves and think they are worth more than what they really are in reality. Jory K says, one of the biggest red flags I've encountered here in the Philippines is girls that have dated foreigners in their past. These girls have so much emotional trauma, it is impossible to have a serious relationship with. It might seem hard to find, but once you get outside the big cities, there are a lot more girls that haven't encountered foreigners. This may be true, however, I disagree. Oftentimes, these women use their ex as an excuse for their bad behavior and for their wants and needs and expectations. So they lie to you. They tell you that their previous foreigner ex or Filipino ex abused them or traumatized them to the level where they now do not have trust in you or want you to prove yourself, or simply they want you to feel guilty or feel like the white knight in shining armor to come and save them because, there are so many Captain Save-A-Hoes in the Philippines. People that think they can save everyone. Yogurt What says, those girls had a trauma with their family, ex, that's why they mostly date foreigners. Jazz-like Perception says, my North Star when it comes to dating is really based on how hot her body is relative to her location. This is my baseline. The hotter the body, the more leverage she has, and the less leverage guys have. But if you transport said hot body to the middle of butt F nowhere, like Siquijor province, with a very limited pool of potential matches, hot body loses leverage. The guy from the city gains more leverage. This explains why hot body in the province tend to be less entitled. When said HB teleports to the city, the entitlement goes up. My take on this is that not the guy that has a problem. It is not even our little hot body girl that is a problem. The main problem is location. A bottle of water at the 7-Eleven costs 30 pesos. A bottle of water at a crowded concert or club shoots up to 100 pesos. Same water, different context. Yes, that's true. However, it's simple. It's business. It's supply and demand. And the truth is, the demand is very high in places like Manila and Cebu because they have the international airports, because those places have the most expats, at least expats that are new and not experienced enough in the Philippines and are willing to pay for it. And no, I'm not talking about just Americans, Australians, and Brits. I'm talking about those Koreans and Japanese that flaunt and flash so much money, and every girl thinks that they can be one of their women. However, only a select few can. The other problem is that these women are online getting money daily from random men digitally, so they do not need to meet someone physically. When you go there, you have to offer them something more than those online boyfriends, and very rarely do men want to give up hundreds of dollars just to meet someone for the first time. The entire world is changing, and you need to be aware. Jazz-like says, the only code I haven't cracked yet is Cebu. Cebu is just as urbanized and progressive as Metro Manila, but in my experience, Cebu girls, I'm limiting this only to hot bodies, have more game than those in Metro Manila. This is the big question for me. LDR 2023 says, and Cebu just the city, is a bunch of different subcultures as well. Like if you go as far as counting Cordova and Lapu as part of the greater urban area, then there are very different cultures there. As far as Cebuano women go, there are many different types. I would like to remind you that any Filipina dating an expat foreigner is automatically improving their lives. Anyone interested in dating a foreigner is already living at the bottom of the bottom. These are the women that are the leftovers, the low-hanging fruits. Some of you may think I am just saying this to be hateful. Some of you may disagree because you think your Filipina, quote, is different than others, but be honest and real with yourself. Would this girl date you if she had other options? Probably not. She's dating you because you are providing a better life for her. So what does this mean? Once she milks you dry, then she could simply move on to another man and keep on monkey branching to find the better option. So this is why it is important to consider these red flags when dating someone who's already dated an expat or a foreigner, whatever way you want to call them, because now they've had a taste of the good life. They want that plus more. A regular phone is not enough. Now they want an iPhone. Maybe now they want a tablet, maybe a laptop. Perhaps a local trip weekend getaway is not enough. Now she wants to go to Boracay. Now she wants to leave the country. But guess who is paying for everything? Now she wants her parents to live in a better home. But guess who's paying for that? You are. Keep these things in mind. Of course, I am not telling you not to date anyone that has previously dated a foreigner. I'm simply reminding you of some of the red flags to watch out for when talking to a woman who's previously dated a foreigner. Have you dated one of these women before? What are you thinking regarding this topic? I would like to know your stories. Press thumbs up, press share, press super thanks, super like. Let's please the YouTube overlords and let's spread the truth about this country. The best comment on our video yesterday, which was about the truth about why Philippines women want to bring a friend on a first date, is from End the Fed. I took a Filipina to Star City Amusement Park in QC. She showed up with her girlfriend. I took both and paid for both. About 5 hours at the park, the girl I took was showing more attention to her friend than me. They started walking in front of me, and I yelled, "Hey!" to the girl I was with, and she ignored me. As they were walking, I just walked off, and they didn't know. I have no idea how they got home, and didn't care. Okay, good for you, but guess what? They got 5 hours of fun out of you, and when they were finished with you, they simply walked ahead of you. You think that you did something right by not making sure they got home safely, but trust me, their Filipino boyfriends will simply pick them up on their motorbike. The worst comment is not all my experience. The family, all 14 of them, were with my Filipina to meet me at the airport. We went to my girl's house, sat down and talked. The older members of the family mostly sat back and listened, with the younger ones asking questions and translating for the elders. Then they all left, and I have never saw most of them again. Been with my loving, caring, loyal, faithful Filipina for over 15 years now. Yes, 15 years ago was a different world, number one. Number two, I wonder who's paying for all their livelihood now. And number three, if you are so happy, why are you watching these videos? Now for today's catfish, how do you go from this to this? Thanks for watching. God bless.